Hello, welcome to Soulprint Insights. So, I'm really happy with this channel. It's growing slowly, but I believe that it is growing with people who really need and want and enjoy and appreciate the information. So I'm okay with it growing slowly. But it did dawn on me the other day that a lot of the information that was released very early in kind of the Soulprint Insights life would have been released way back in January and February of 2020. So I thought that for the next couple of ones, they're going to be interspersed, I hope. I wanted to just do a bit of a review of some of the original stuff that was released early in January in that, written sort of manuscript form. Because as the channelings become more detailed and the questions deeper and you're looking for broader and more information about a specific topic. It's really helpful, I think, if you go back to the beginning. And so, because the information is being channeled, even though it's for everybody, I think it just has an added dimension to those who sort of have a little bit more clarity with kind of some of the words they use and some of the way ideas are communicated. So that's what's going to happen today. We're going to do a re-review of what is a soul print. It's the name for both of my channels. It's a word that has a very specific meaning from the sort of Masudius channeled information. And so let's stop chattering, and I'm going to share with you the answer I received when I asked, what is a soul print? Soul print is the name used to refer to a grouping of sacred promises, a covenant, if you will. When a soul chooses to return to a physical state, they set into place a series of blueprints which will outline that soul's plans for that given lifetime experience. The soul print is reviewed on an ongoing basis so that it is not rigid or God's will. It is fluid, but it retains the soul's aspirations for that physical experience. The soul print includes several various plans to lead you to the environments where you can best have the experiences you are looking for. It contains information on everything from your birth date, parents, physical attributes and or limitations, friends, guides, loves. It contains information on predetermined signposts along your journey that let you know you are on your chosen path, or guidance on how to best return to your desired path. All of these intentions come together like a tapestry, thousands of threads that contain thoughts, moments, likes, dislikes, friends, family, pet, strangers, health, wealth, innate gifts, everything that can be put into place to create the experience you desire. Added to this are the covenants that you have entered into to help other souls achieve their intentions. Many of these sacred promises are complex and can last for extended periods of time, such as with a spouse, child, long-lasting friendships. Others can be, and often are, put into place with those you may only have a single or a few interactions with. And those tend to always happen at the right time. So then the question becomes, is all of life fated or predetermined? And the answer is no. If it was, it would negate the rule of free will. And that cannot be. It just cannot be. The purpose behind each and every life is to have and gain the experience of the choices you make. The big decisions and the little ones all come together to create a lifetime. Those moments of time become the very fabric of your experience. They are the purpose. When you accept that each life experience is unique and important, each moment a force of creation, it is then that you can understand with clarity that you cannot have, indeed would not want to have, all the choices and options available to you, literally crammed into one life experience. You couldn't do it. The Soulprint is an intended map. But life, like every great adventure, is full of wonder. It is questions asked and answered. It is about discovery, gaining insights, learning who you are and what you place value on. It is about that messy mix of emotions and options. It adds depth and insight into who and what you are, who you are changing and evolving into. It is a journey that defines you for you, and by extension, you to others. It is what you call life. Your soulprint is your intentions, your hopes and expectations. It is that to which the soul refers. It is that which you have put in place to assist you in creating and manifesting the life experience that you desire and aspire to. Every journey is intended to be an opportunity for you to have those experiences and opportunities that can only be realized in physical form. Embrace each moment, knowing that you are the creative force which paints the picture or writes the song of your life. We are at this time Masudius. So, there's always a lot of talk about, well, what is fated? What is destined? What is free will? And it's not binary, okay? It's a little of this and a lot of that, and it all kind of comes together. So we create this soul print. And as we're going through our life on a subconscious level, typically when you are in sleep mode, the soul travels off and it refers to the soul print, and it kind of does a check and balance. Now, it doesn't do this continually. And I'm sure that there are many souls who have become so detached from source that they don't, it's not that their soul doesn't take the journey, it's that they don't suffer any or receive any guidance, right? The information sort of can't get through to consciousness because they're kind of detached. So this is the question, right? And this will be addressed again in another video that's going to come out in the next week or two about this topic. But people are always like, well, why would you choose a terrible life? Why would you choose a life where you're hurt? Why would you choose a life where, where? And the answer in its simplest form is that we understand in soul form that life cannot be destroyed. A life is sort of just simply about gathering experiences and having opportunities and reacting to things in a wide range of emotions. It is just everything, right? It's everything that because we are creating that life experience. And so sometimes people really do choose to suffer a life of pain, for example. So what does that mean? Could that mean that in your energetic form, you are a healing angel? Is that possible? And is it possible that after practicing as a healing angel for a lifetime or two or three or however 10, 20, a million, that you decide, you know what, I've always healed pain. I've always worked to help people heal their pain. I have never had a lifetime of pain, of difficulty. In part, of course, because I spent a whole bunch of time in energy form being a spiritual healer from the other side of the veil. So okay, so I'm going to come back in, a body that isn't perfect, or I'm going to experience a perfect body, and then at some point, some event is going to take place, and it's going to take away that perfect health, and I'm now going to learn sort of the steps and stages of the condition pain. And of course, they're two very different experiences, right? It's one experience to be born, for example, with some sort of a physical abnormality, and because that is your normal when you're born in that state, right? And so that's what you know. And so the experiences you gain from that are incredibly different from the experience that you would gain going from a healthy, active human figure to one that is in chronic or ongoing pain, for example. So a lot of times what we see as tragic is really not tragic. It is the soul having a life experience. And that's really important to remember because there's a lot going on in our world right now. There really, really is. And a lot of what's going on really does make you question, how much is fated, right? Are certain people fated to become icons for change? Are certain people fated to point out or behave in such a way that points out some of the best and worst of our experience? And that's true. That can be fated. Does it mean that you're going to follow your path exactly? No, it doesn't. Does it mean that you may have experiences that really, really almost like set your soul back a little? Not back literally, but to a place where you realize that there's a lot more growing and knowing that you need to have before maybe you can tackle some of the harder or heavier life experiences. So the answer kind of like is both, right? Your soul print is a blueprint. Blueprints are sort of designed to change and be altered. And that is the process that we go through. And so our soul print is a really important aspect of our soul being. And I love the imagery of the threads coming together and creating a tapestry of your life. Because when you look at it that way, it really brings clarity to you about just exactly how many threads went into creating your soul print. How many threads went into you writing that song of your life? And understand that you are also in the tapestry of another's lifetime, because maybe you are the husband, the wife, the best friend. Maybe you are that person who just, you're going to enter somebody's life for 5 minutes or 5 weeks, 5 years, and your work is done and you're going to go away. You know, if you think back over your life, I'm sure every single one of you have had that experience where you heard something, or somebody said something to you, or you received something, and it sort of was like a aha, I get that, I get it. It's like that aha moment of, oh, wait a minute, I now clearly see what direction I want to move in next, or what path I'm going to take. Those serendipitous moments are your soul print in action. It is putting certain situations and people in place for, you know, to try to help you stay on your soul print here in the physical. And by extensions, right? Some people choose to have a soul print that is opulent, right? And perhaps somebody has to learn, if they're born into an opulent and a wealthy lifestyle, perhaps they chose that so that they could try to learn about generosity or kindness or whatever else. So it's almost impossible to figure out somebody's lessons. And not all the lessons that we choose to have are going to be the perfect life with the big yellow sun and the lovely clouds and the happy rainbows, okay? We experience all kinds of lives. And again, you know, how do you know what poor means? Sorry about that. How do we know what poor is if we don't have the experience of rich? How do we know the experience of generous if we don't know miserly? How do we know that there is that distinction, the two aspects of ourselves, that is good and evil? And really, you know, part of the experience of life, of course, is finding that balance and moving forward with that balance. So it's helpful sometimes to really try to take sort of a higher, I call it my 30,000 feet view, right? Sort of look above the situation, because sometimes you can see the patterns and the times that you were set on a specific course of our lifetimes, and that gives us, you know, some degree of clues and information about certain aspects of the soul print experience. I hope that has brought some clarity. I'm going to be doing one about if people should, or if they even can, consciously activate their soul print or view their soul print. And there's a couple more from the very beginning that I kind of want to reintroduce for all of my new subscribers who maybe were not with me in, you know, January and February when this channel was in its absolute infancy. And you know what? It's grown pretty good in 6 months. So I'm delighted that I can share this with you, but much, much more than that, I am delighted that here at Soulprint Insights, you have found something of value that resonates within your life, helps you find clarity, hope, understanding. If that's happening, the intention for Soulprint Insights has been achieved. And so I thank you ever so much for that. We'll see you again soon. Stand in your power and stand in your light. Bye.